Hi everyone! Today I'm really excited because we're talking about one of the most important topics in English, how to talk about the future. People often get confused between will, going to, and even the present continuous for future plans. Don't worry, by the end of this conversation, everything will feel super clear and easy. So, Adam, let's start with something simple. When you think about your future weekend plans, which form do you usually use?
Well, honestly, it depends. If I already have a plan in my mind, I normally say I'm going to. For example, I can say, I'm going to visit my brother this weekend because I already decided that last week. But if I suddenly make a decision at the moment, like right now, I would say, I'll order pizza or I'll call my friend. That's how I understand it. But Emily, a lot of English learners still get confused. Why is will used for sudden decisions?
Great question. Will is used when you decide something at the moment of speaking. Imagine you're sitting on the sofa and suddenly feel hungry. You say, I'll make some noodles. You didn't plan this earlier, it just happened now. That's why will is perfect. On the other hand, going to is used for plans or intentions you made before. For example, I'm going to study tonight. You probably decided that yesterday. And the best part is that both of these forms are supernatural in everyday English conversations.
Exactly. But there's something else that learners often miss. We can use present continuous to talk about the future too. This is usually for fixed arrangements, something already scheduled. For example, I'm meeting my manager tomorrow, or we're having dinner with friends tonight. These are not just plans, they're real appointments. So when something is arranged, present continuous sounds more natural than will or going to.
Absolutely, Adam. And I think examples help a lot. So let's make it simple. Imagine you have these three situations. 1. You think of something suddenly. Will. 2. You planned it earlier. Going to. 3. You have a fixed schedule. Present continuous. Here's an example. You just realized it's raining. I'll take an umbrella. You decided last week to buy shoes. I'm going to buy new shoes this weekend. You have a confirmed meeting. I'm meeting my boss at 10 a.m. This is the easiest way to understand the differences.
That's perfect. And what about predictions? People always ask, should I use will or going to? Well, both can be used, but there's a difference. If you base your prediction on what you see right now, you use going to. It's going to rain. Look at those dark clouds. But if you're giving a general prediction, like your opinion, you use will. I think people will travel more in the future.
Well said. And predictions are a huge part of everyday conversations. For example, when talking about technology, we often say things like, AI will change the world. Or when we see something about to happen, like a glass slipping from the table, we say, oh no, it's going to fall. Now, let's talk about promises. Promises in English always use will. I'll help you. I'll call you tonight. I'll support you no matter what. Because a promise is a decision made at the moment you say it. Adam,
Yes, and not just promises, offers and requests also use will. For example, will you help me? I'll make some tea for us. Will you open the window? These sound polite and natural. But if you say, I'm going to make tea for us during an offer, it sounds like you decided earlier, and now you're just reporting the plan. That's why will is better for offers.
exactly. And now let's talk about everyday life examples, because English learners love real situations. Imagine you are in a restaurant. If the waiter asks what you want to eat and you decide instantly, you should say, I'll have the chicken, because it's a quick decision. But if you already knew before coming to the restaurant that you want to try their pasta, you can say, I'm going to have the pasta. This small difference makes your English sound natural and fluent.
And let's take another example. Travel.
Suppose you are planning a trip next month. You have booked tickets, prepared everything, and the trip is confirmed. You say, I am flying to Dubai next month. This is present continuous, a fixed arrangement. But if you're only thinking about the trip and not booked anything yet, you say, I'm going to travel to Dubai next month. This is just a plan or intention.
Yes. Now let's talk about time expressions. They're super important when talking about the future. Tomorrow, next week, next year, tonight, soon, in a few days, later. All of these help the listener understand when something will happen. For example, I'll finish this later. I'm going to start a new course next week. We're having a party tonight. Time expressions make your future sentences clear and complete.
I want to add something important. Sometimes all three forms are grammatically correct, but the meaning changes slightly. For example, I'll see the doctor tomorrow. Decision made now. I'm going to see the doctor tomorrow. Plan already made. I'm seeing the doctor tomorrow. Appointment is fixed. All are correct, but give different feelings.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of English. Small changes create big differences. Before we wrap up, let's practice with a quick real-life scenario. Adam, imagine I tell you, I feel very tired today. How would you respond using will?
Easy. I'd say, I'll make you some tea. That's a sudden decision to help you.
Perfect. Now imagine you already planned to call your mom tonight. How would you say that?
I'm going to call my mom tonight because the plan was made earlier.
Great. And now imagine you have a confirmed meeting at 3 p.m. today.
I'm meeting my client at 3 p.m. That's a fixed arrangement.
Excellent. And that's exactly how learners should practice. Think of real situations and choose the correct future form. When you practice like this every day, you'll sound more natural and confident. So everyone listening, remember, will for instant decisions, promises, offers, and general predictions, going to for earlier plans and predictions based on evidence, and present continuous for scheduled, confirmed future events.
And once you master these three forms, your English future tense conversation becomes fluent and natural. Keep practicing, use these forms in your daily life, and you'll improve very quickly. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope this conversation helped you understand the future tense in a simple and natural way.